I can only put this one way. Everything's broken. Everything is busted. Let me get this up here. I've factored. There we go. Everything is broken, chat. Welcome in, Sonda. Welcome in, Zelica. Welcome in, Resident Evil Wiki. Good to see you all. Good to see you all rocking your sub badges. Really, really happy to see that. And yeah, broken is what we do best.
Broken is what we do best.
That is normally the case, Sonda, but today...
That's what we're here to talk about, Mr.
Today
Sonda.
it's a little different.
Exactly what we're here to talk about.
I didn't break it this time, so it's hard to nobody has to be breaking it, so...
No, I'm still blaming you, Gray.
Well, no. So here it is. We're like, oh, they're starting to hear some Warhammer stuff. It's like, oh, cool. And you think, bringing massive changes to match play. What it should really read is, the next mission pack is bringing massive fuck-ups to match play is what it should read, but I don't think that would be safe for work or good for articles, but so here we are. That's the great translation right there. Good to see you, Tom. Thank you for the shout out for the wonderful Mr. Sonda. Chat, Slinger and I are going to be feisty today. We're not happy. I think I sat up to like nearly 2 in the morning chatting about this with him and above the tabletop, just on a sort of, yeah, I don't know. Slinger, talk at them while I close my blinds. The sun has appeared and I don't like it.
All right, chat. What's the most recent update to Space Wolves? No real changes since the chapter approved in January. We've not gotten any hints as to what kind of points changes we should expect to see. There's been a couple of leaks, but those have been focused more on the meta monsters and trying to reel them back into place. So as soon as we get the PDF download, Zelica, I'm sure we will talk about. Where's the dog? It's upstairs. Yeah, we'll talk about what's going on with Space Wolves and Space Marines in total. I'm sure we'll discuss my Dark Angels, LSS Salamanders, and Micah's Black Templar as well when we see what exactly, if anything, is going to happen to Space Marines from the next round of points changes.
I think it's bad.
Timing of the bark seems appropriate. Yes.
I think we're both in agreement it's going to be not good for Space Marines really at all, except for maybe Space Wolves.
I don't expect there to be any real change for Space Marines points wise. So
no, we're talking points. I thought
yes, no, we're talking points right now, but we'll see.
Yeah.
As far as like the actual meta gameplay, I think it's kind of funny. You think Space Wolves are gonna come out the best on this one, but
on one point, I think that Space Wolves are fine. On many others, I think we're not. There's a saving grace to it all.
Dark Angels and Blood Angels. I staggering, I know, to hear Dark Angels and Blood Angels are probably the best Space Marines right now are going to come out of this unfortunate calamity the best for one very specific reason, because our CP manipulation is better than everyone else's in the Space Marine lineup. But again, we shall see. I do agree the amount of characters you have will be of somewhat use to you, but we're putting the cart before the horse, Adam.
Thank you for the flatulence, Sonda. I really appreciate it. This is a steaming pile of fart, and with plenty of reverb. So yeah.
Yes. The chat
just awful.
We're going to start because I know there's enough of you out there. What? No.
Oh, Zelica.
I feel we have to back up and go back to the beginning just a little bit, as you know, several of you lads are Warhammer players, but a lot of you are more, you've just been kind of Stockholm syndrome by us.
The likes of Zelica and Sonda, they're miniature painters in themselves, so they're a little more in tune with some of the others. There it is. Yeah. Sonda has found one of the new ones. Thank you, Sonda. You found the nice emote. It's happened.
They did compress it just a bit, but
it's just a bit. It is what you have to live with, unfortunately. But the 69 is quite pronounced, and that's the main part of that.
Yes,
that is the main part.
It's very good. Chat, to play Warhammer 40k, it all starts with list building. You are used to our hour-long intros where we talk about our lists, and I laugh like a Bond villain, I believe, as Fisto likes to put it a lot, and Adam likes to go, "I've lost the game before we even started." Well, this isn't entirely wrong, as that is a major component of Warhammer 40K is building a list that is just going to win just based on existing. That is actually part of the gamesmanship of 40K. And then the luck comes in as far as dice rolls or player intellect and strategery goes. But yeah, list building is a significant component of 40K. The spam of the night.
Oh no, he's not over
here. So Zelika's just a painter. Okay, great. So yeah.
Good Harold, welcome into the stream. Good to see you.
Hello, Good Harold. Yes. Yes. We do have a couple of very nice armies, but unfortunately, you come in for our podcast bit first, so we're having a rant about the new chapter
shortly,
but yes, we will get to a game, and
we're discussing this pile of stuff. It's just QGF Goldblum in front of giant pile of shit. There you go.
Yes. So chat, when you begin 40K, first thing you do after you pick a faction is you have to pick a detachment style. The baselines being the combat patrol, the battalion, and the brigade. So each of those, you run one of those, the command points expenditure for it will be refunded. And all right, so I'm just heading out. We'll see you in a bit.
I guess I really Fisto.
What did Fisto do?
Oh no, it's something I do when his Bimson thing comes on. Whenever it says Fisto, I say Fisto with it. We get it in stereo.
Amazing. You will get your command points refunded. You guys hear us mentioning the command points as well quite often. You start with 12 of them in match play, as that's usually a strike force size game. So traditionally you start with 12 CP, and from there you expend it to pay for detachments, warlord traits, relics, etc., etc.
Yeah.
This is now no longer the case, chat. Games Workshop has decided in their infinite wisdom that they will be having the starting CP, being 3 for incursion size and 6 for strike force, which is the traditional tournament size army. The upside to this is you will now gain CP in every command phase rather than in your own command phase. Games Workshop's math's a bit fuzzy on this, as they claim that means it will all balance out as you're doubling in-game CP. It's actually not quite correct, as you gain 5 CP during the match, 12 to start, being 17. Now starting with 6, gaining 10 during the game. That's 16, but we'll let that slide. It is bullshit, Zelika. We're gonna really get into this as why it's bullshit. So right off the bat, with where you start in your list, if you do not start with a traditional combat patrol, strike or battalion or brigade, you will already have almost no CP, as it costs 3 CP to run any of the other detachment styles. Notably, the Dark Angels lists you all are used to seeing me run have at least a Vanguard detachment, if not also an Outrider detachment.
Yep.
Now, I do have some perks for that, so this will not punish me nearly as much as it will, say, Gray's old school Outrider lists he used to make with his Space Wolves, or pick an army that likes to run elites or fast attack over whatever else, whatever other unit choices are more standard. But that's not all, chat. The next bit is you as you're building your list is you will pick a warlord. When you pick that warlord, you're allowed to give that warlord a warlord trait. If it's a named character, they will have an assigned one. Otherwise, you will get to pick from a list based on your faction and possibly sub-faction. In the case of like Gray's Space Wolves, my Dark Angels, we have our own unique ones. And then you may also assign to that warlord or to any character in your army a relic, which is again a boost, a nice little perk, a boosted weapon, or maybe something that will give you new capabilities or stuff, new traits. The Pennant of Remembrance in my Dark Angels armies that gives my guys damage reduction. Gray's Armor of Russ are ones you guys hear about a lot, as we tend to run these lists quite a bit. That is no longer free. You now have to pay for them.
Yep.
So,
which really sucks, chat.
So even if you do pick a battalion, a combat patrol, or a brigade, you will still not be starting with 6 CP to outfit your army. you'll be starting with 4. If you are running a Vanguard, Outrider, etc., or even multiple combat patrol style lists, you will be starting with as low as 2 command points.
Yeah.
Now, that's all well and good, you might say, except then you go into what do you spend command points on other than the stratagems during game? Well, quite a few things.
Yep, there's a bunch of pre-game stratagems you can run as well.
Tons of them.
Which are really effective sometimes, like really, really good.
Yes, there are quite a few factions that live and die on this. In fact, there is one faction that is now possibly rendered unplayable, that being the Chaos Demons.
Yes, we'll talk about them shortly, I'm sure.
Yes. But yeah, being able to upgrade more characters, upgrade specific units, or even take units. For example, Adam Gray's Relic Contemptor Dreadnought you'll be seeing in the game today actually costs Adam a CP to utilize.
One of these bad boys, chat. This is costing me CP to run at this point. Well, it always has. There's no getting around that. It always did. It always did, but it was not as bad. It was something that you go, that's probably okay. I like that unit. It's fine. I'll take the hit on it. Now that's really punishing when it's effectively 25% of your CP before you even start the game to bring a unit.
Yeah,
it's really bad.
So yeah, that's the long and short of it, chat. So Games Workshop has now rendered character-based armies, Forge World-based armies, or even a couple of just older armies that are Grey Knights be the most inexpensive army to run then. CP wise, no, Zelika, I do not believe so at all. Grey Knights don't tend to take a ton of extra stuff, but they do still definitely want a couple of their relics and at least one of their warlord traits. I know is kind of a must take. So, and that's on top of the fact that Grey Knights do actually tend to prefer fast attacks. So you do tend to see Grey Knights actually kind of wanting to run an Outrider, or at least multiple patrol detachments. So yeah, Grey Knights are Grey Knights aren't going to dodge this either. So yeah, so to get very specific, armies that are going to be very punished right now, all Space Marines, loyal and heretical, all variations basically really live and die on their command points, on buffing characters, on running Forge World models, on taking non-traditional detachments. Vanguards and Outriders are the more common, but if you're Iron Hands, you'll probably run a Spearhead to get more vehicles. AdMech
are fucked.
AdMech are.
I mean, I'd love to see if Vector will come in today.
Yeah.
Or any AdMech players in the chat, I would love to hear how things are going for you on this. Once you're trying to craft lists based on this. But my understanding is AdMech chunked a lot of the CP pre-game. Just to function.
They needed to upgrade their infantry squads. They have lots of stratagems to upgrade sergeants in their squadrons. They needed that. They run lots of characters, and those characters need warlord traits and relics to do what they need to do. So yeah, it was not uncommon. I believe Richard Siegler, the best Warhammer player in the world in 2021, with his outstanding win at the 2022 Las Vegas Open to end out the season. He piloted AdMech, who were in not a good shape, and Custodies, one of the current meta monsters, had just gotten their codex. He defeated 2 Custodies. Let me finish, please. He defeated 2 Custodies armies to take the LVO. His army started with 5 CP, and that would be a battalion because he's AdMech, so he'd want to run lots of basic troops, lots of characters. So he was running a battalion, or maybe possibly even a brigade. Yeah. So yeah, that would have had its full CP refunded. So he spent 7 CP pre-game just to make the army work, and that's not counting start of game CP expenditures. For some armies have starting tricks they can do, or just even to put units into reserve. You have to spend CP to put stuff into reserve, chat. I know it's not something you see us do a lot, but it is a major component of the game for quite a few factions, including Eldar. Yes, Adam, what were you trying to say?
I'm just saying, funny enough, I'm going to find one of the comments on Ospax's video, which I talked to you earlier about. What changes like this really do to people. But funny, Ospax's new video is AdMech and Army Overview 9th edition, and I released that an hour ago. So AdMech must be a big talking point right now for a lot of people. But it's curious to see how that goes. But
Auspex has been doing this as a series. The Space Marine one came out last weekend, so I'm pretty sure Auspex probably that was just he had that recorded long before any of this happened.
Okay,
I would guess. Though I mean, Auspex is a freak. We've seen Auspex. We have
seen him be a psychopath.
Yes, he cranks out videos hours after news is dropped, so it is quite possible he updated the video to discuss what's been done to that. But go on and read your.
Well, it is up on the screen, like but it's just like. We talked about this before, you and I, Slinger, the barrier to entry in terms of cost for 40k to play the game.
Yes.
This is one of the examples of someone who's just trying their best to keep up with the game, and every time they get about ready, they get fecked. You know? And that's kind of what I was feeling the other day when I heard about yesterday when I heard about this. It's just like, I finally got my army ready. Now I'm going to need to change it. And that's happened to me a couple of times. But this is a dude suffering edition on edition. That GW just keep doing things that makes his army idea just not function. And I don't know. I'm not in the game long enough. I don't see things like Inquisition. I didn't ever hear about them being busted and winning tournaments at an nearly 80% win rate that needed to be nerfed. But this dude, like I said, funny story. I started in 7th edition with an Inquisition army. Back then, the Inquisition had access to Arco-Flagellants, Crusaders, Stormtroopers, Chimeras, Valkyries, Rhinos, and more. Then 8th edition came... and around him, my army was split into several factions, plus my Inquisitor model became technically illegal because no power armor are allowed anymore. Cool. Then Battle Brothers forced my army into separate detachments, plus Rule of 3 removed some of my models from the table. Cool. Then 9th edition has come around, and my army had to spend over half its CP just to get to the table. Cool. Now he doesn't even have enough CP to play the game, chat. It's really fucking bad. This is someone also who's been trying to play it for several editions.
The upvotes. Nice.
But genuinely, this is a dude trying to play for several editions at this point, and he just can't seem to get to a tournament or table without getting wrecked.
Now, bear in mind, chat, so I do actually kind of understand what the man is saying, so I can kind of translate for both Adam the Grey and yourselves. That Inquisition army is a high model count volume army. So it's a combination guard and Sisters of Battle army. So we're talking this guy's bought
so much for
I would say at least five or six plus boxes of troop models. We're talking usually about $50-$60 per box, 5 or 6 boxes of them. Multiple vehicles. He's listed off Chimeras, Valkyries, and Rhinos, all transports. Valkyries are jets. It's a fairly expensive model. I think it's $80 or $90 US. Chimeras, I don't know. Rhinos usually about $50, but still, if you're running 2 or 3 Rhinos or a Rhino and 2 or 3 Chimeras and 2 or 3 Valkyries, yeah, we're talking easily $700-800 right there, and that's a low ball. Guard armies tend to push well over $1,000 US.
And he can't play with it.
Yeah, and essentially he's been driven out of the game by this. Likewise, Adam, can you put on the screen the Squishy Gross Sounds army list real quick?
Yeah, I'll get that up now.
Okay. So Chaos Demons, which is not the bottom, not the worst army in the game, but it is the second worst faction in the game, and there has been no word whatsoever on when their codex is coming, so we have no clue.
Not sure how to make this larger, so this is about what we got.
Probably zoom it, but really all I want to show off is the CP on it right now.
Yeah.
Kind of hover over the demon section and show off the CP cost on the demon section.
Well,
but demons, which are so again, chat, a bad army, an army that, you know, at this point has almost no chance of actually winning a GT, you know, unless piloted by like the luckiest bastard ever who's just knows the army intimately.
And as a god, yeah.
Yeah, I mean luck is a factor, chat. Dice have to go his way. It is not just simply about the list construction, which is first and foremost in winning 40k, is building a good list. Like, if you do not have a good list, you are already playing behind the 8 ball when you play Warhammer 40k. Hence why we talk about list construction quite a bit, you know, or at least get into the nitty gritty of our list to kind of demonstrate the thought processes that went into an army to make it function. This list here that I've made is a suit list. It is a demon list supported by a small faction of Chaos Space Marines to give some firepower, as demons have almost no range capability other than psychic powers. If you can't get it blown up, Adam, just go ahead and read
that's
off the
better
chat.
there you go.
Okay. Is it? Did we get it?
Yeah, I saved it as a HTML.
Okay. Yeah, it still hasn't come up on screen just yet, but all right. There you go. Right. So looking up at the top of the screen, right off the bat, you're seeing that there's 7 starting CP in the army. Now, this is because I scrimped this army. Because I knew what I was walking into, and I wanted to use stratagems with my Emperor's Children, with my Chaos Space Marines with this list. So I scrimped my demons. I bare mend them. Adam, can you scroll down past the Chaos Astartes and get down to the demons section, please? Go chat just exactly what the fuck happens to poor demon players. Start constructing their list.
I see Slanesh, I see Be'lakor. Am I stopping at Be'lakor or am I going past them?
Nope, that's where I want to be. Get me to Be'lakor, please. Thank you very much.
There you go, you're at Be'lakor.
All right, go down, go past Be'lakor. Be'lakor's the first thing. Yeah.
And Toward the Epitome is the next one.
Okay, I want to see my Keeper of Secrets, please.
There she is.
Thank you. The chat. This is a basic headquarters unit for a Slanesh demon army. Most Slanesh demon armies have to. Yes, Slanesh is love. All the best kinds of love.
Father help.
A traditional Slaneshi army, or even a traditional Chaos Soup army at this point. Last summer, Chaos Demons actually were moderately competitive when Be'lakor's rules were released. We'll tend to have 2 to 3 of these Keepers of Secrets. Now, I want y'all to look up their chat. This model will cost you 240 points plus a command point. Cost you a command point. Just take a model. Now, if you look at it, she has a Warlord trait. That's a command point now. She has a Relic. That's another command point now. So 3 command points just to field 1 headquarters character when I need 2 to 3 of them in a traditional list. Again, I've supplemented with Be'lakor and some Chaos Astartes, so I that's why I don't have 3 in here. But yeah, we're talking 3 CP just to get our first Warlord on the battle, and we need a few more of these. Now, to add on to that, we scrolled past Be'lakor. Be'lakor doesn't have anything, but the Contorted Epitome does. The Contorted Epitome is also boosted. So there's another 2 or 3 CP for the Contorted Epitome to get her kitted out the way she needs to be to help the army. So now we're talking 5. And all of this is on top of the fact that we've got a multiple detachment. As we said, we've got Chaos Astartes up there. Now, traditionally in a Chaos Soup army, you would be running multiple detachments to get different types of demons to benefit from their various buffs. Usually you would want to bring on Tzeentch demons for psychic powers, Nurgle demons for holding objectives, and then the Slanesh demons for the killing power, respectively. Slanesh could be replaced with Khorne, but most people consider the Slanesh to be the better choice, rules-wise. Adam, go ahead and take me down to my big blob of demonettes. If you
see Zalki's question, Slinger.
Sorry for the stupid question, but are you allowed to bring in 2 the same headquarters units? So the previous, that's not a dumb question at all, Zelka. The comment you saw previously that Adam was showing you, you heard him mention the rule of 3. That was implemented in 8th edition, meaning you are allowed, except for troop slots, any slot you are allowed to run up to 3 of the exact same model. That's been curtailed a bit following the very first balanced data slate that we got last year when Games Workshop implemented that, as they came in to absolutely annihilate the orc speed wall that just for half a heartbeat gave orcs the shining grace of being able to take down GTs and maybe even majors. Yeah, they absolutely destroyed that and thus destroyed rule of 3 as being a generic, but rule of 3 is still generally considered to be in effect on most units, except for flyers and most orc fucking fast attack choices. Fucking poor orcs. So no, Zelka, it's not a stupid question at all. Yes, you are allowed to take 2 or even 3 of the exact same headquarters unit. Now there are individual limitations in factions. Granids are only allowed to bring 1 Hive Tyrant per detachment. Space Marines only allowed to bring 1 captain per detachment and 2 lieutenants per detachment. So yeah, there are some examples, and named characters, you're only allowed to bring 1 of an actual named character, like a legit, story character.
Yeah, like Steve. If there's a character called Steve, you can only bring 1 Steve.
To be more specific, you will see more than a handful of named characters in this one. Niall Stormcaller, Bjorn the Fell-Handed, Horal Deathwolf, and Azrael. All named characters. So all unique rule sets, and thus only 1 allowed.
Because in the story, there's only ever been one of them. So, like,
exactly.
They can't just be like, he had a twin brother of the exact same name. Looks like him and runs everything.
Yeah. That's not a thing.
However,
Yep,
am I mistaken to say that like things like keepers and straight unclean ones go past that because there are multiple of those in the lore? You can bring
they are not named. What about John? John is a dependable guy. I just rewatched Grand Tour season 3, the Mongolia episode. John is a dependable lad.
Such an obscure reference. What the fuck?
It's not though. That's one of the most popular TV series on streaming. What are you talking about? Anyways, so yes, Elika. If we're not talking about troops, yes, you can bring 3 of the same unit. So yes, and in demon armies, especially Slanesh armies, you're going to want to run at least 2 keepers, maybe even 3, or you can bring the named keeper. Salaxi Hellblade, I think is her name. So yeah,
I don't know why that just made me think of Stalaxia 134. We should stop it.
But anyways, Adam, take me down to my big blob demon. That's not my 2 little ones here. I want to see the big
19, I assume, is your big one.
That's the one. Yeah. Thank you very much.
So what are we looking at?
All right, so you see, chat, that unit right there costs a command point as well, 165 points. Now that's 2 boxes of demonettes. That's Adam, do you happen to remember off the top of your head how much it cost for you to buy that box for Lisa?
Demonettes. I think it was 24 at the time.
24 quid. So
this is before the price hike. So we're probably. I could probably.
We'll call it 50 quid. We'll call it 50 quid. It's fine. So we spent 50 quid here.
Or 20 quid.
Huh?
They're 20 quid on like element games and stuff. So yeah. GW price is 24 quid. So yeah, we'll call it 50 quid.
Yeah, we'll call it 50 quid. Get this 1 unit in. Now it costs you another command point because you are giving it a banner or standard, whatever. Now that allows these units to re-roll. It's the icon. That's what it is. No. Not the icon. Which one is it? Fuck. Yeah, it's the banner. So yeah, once per battle, they can re-roll all failed hits. So yes, this allows a demonette army, which is
the good Harold. Thank you very much for the follow, my friend. Welcome in.
Yes. Glad to have you here. Sorry. This is kind of a long-winded tangent before actually getting into games, but this is some big news that's really affecting. It's really affecting the state of competitive 40K, and I don't think it's a good thing at all. But so another CP, just so these girls can actually re-roll their attacks and actually be effective. Nearly every demon troop unit has something similar to this, and pretty much all of them need this item in order to actually be effective in 9th Ed 40K. So yeah, we're talking 3 to 5 CP to get your troops on the board in a way that actually functions. So doing the math, chat, we're at 5 for our headquarters units. We're at another 1 for my army, but in a bigger army that was not trying to cut down and actually properly play. We're talking 8 command points there. Now we need to talk about pre-game stratagems. So demons have a stratagem that allows them to not put their models on the board and come in first turn. They hide in the warp, basically. That's, I think, 2 CP for that.
Do you know the name of it? I can quickly Google it.
I don't remember. It's something like Portal the Warp or Hiding in the Warp. I don't remember what it's called. It's something like that though. It's something about the warp.
Okay.
It's a pre-game stratagem, so it should be easy to find on Wikipedia, Adam. Just look at that. Just look at that.
You chat away. I'll try and find it.
Yeah. So already we're talking about we've spent 8 CP. Now, as you may recall, chat, back to the Warhammer article, you only start with 6. That army is now not functional, not legal. So we have to start ditching stuff, warlord traits, relics, or just cutting down the effectiveness of our basic troop choices. And remember, these are toughness 3, 5 up invuln, 6 sub armor save troop choices with 1 wound. Most armies in the game with any kind of range attack will eat that shit for breakfast. Even the poor pathetic guard will annihilate that. These are not units that you're getting one and done out of them if you want to use them. Yeah, LS, you missed the earlier round, but yes, no, we broke down the percentages and stuff, and yeah, demons are number 2 from the bottom. They are only slightly better than guard because guard can't hold objectives. Well,
Warp Surge, is it Warp Surge?
Maybe. No, maybe. I don't know.
No, that's not it. We're working on it.
It's fine. I don't think chat cares that much about the name of the stratagem, but the point is to actually effectively play a demon army, you need to be able to spend 10 CP before the game even starts. You have 6 now. The army is unplayable. You will set your army out on the board, you will deploy it as best you can in the terrain, and then you will sit and laugh as your opponent shoots the fuck out of you, because nearly every army in the game has a shooting component right now that is in the top of the meta. And you will watch your army disappear.
LS can't use his demon soup anymore. Is that a
well, LS is comprehending what we're talking about. Your demon soup is completely eradicated, LS. Because you were running a multi-detachment with Khorne, Slaanesh, and Nurgle.
I mean, the worst that is, chat, to put it all into like
three patrols, LS. You will have 2 CP starting. So if you want your relic and warlord trait, you're done. No upgrades to the actual troops whatsoever.
And to put it into perspective, chat, is sort of, I think Slinger touched on it. Like, these aren't armies that were kicking ass. Like, the demon soup wasn't going into tournaments and like everyone was talking about how busted demons need to be demons are and that they needed to be nerfed or anything like that.
The last time I saw a demon soup army win a GT was last summer.
Yeah, so it's not a problem that what GW are fixing.
They're trash. AdMech, after all the nerfs they suffered late last year, they're at a 38% win rate right now, and that's
and they're only getting worse.
That's about to plummet. Space Marines are okay. We are right in the middle. Some of us do a little better than others, but we are right dead center in the middle. We can take down a GT maybe, and we might even have a chance if we got lucky to win a major. It is possible to win a major now with a Space Marine force. Not likely. I haven't seen it happen yet, but it is possible technically. How are the Wolves? Dead center, right? Dead center. There are some really competitive lists that are out there right now. I've played against one of them. Bam Bam Hunter is one of the best, is currently one of the top Space Wolf players in the world. I've actually played against him. I've seen his list. It is nightmare fuel, but I don't know if it's going to function quite as well now because it is very character heavy, like most Space Marine armies will be. And he's running a successor chapter. So Gray's tangent he would like to make about the perks of the Space Wolves do not apply to the successor chapter build, which is the preferred build in competitive scheme. So so those armies, chat. So we were talking at best mid-tier armies are now completely and utterly crushed. Now, what armies didn't get crushed by this? What armies don't care about warlord traits or relics? And maybe they'll run 2 patrol detachments or they'll run a battalion.
Do you have a link to the win rates before we get into this, Slinger, so I can show it?
I don't have that right now, unfortunately. I'm sorry. I was a little late. There's quite a few people who have T-Whip charts. So just look for a T-Whip chart. Tau. They're at the bottom of the meta monsters, but they are still meta monsters. Tau run battalions unless they want to do a Storm Surge spam. Storm Surge spam is dead. I've seen quite a few Tau players bitching about that, but fuck them. It was kind of an impressive build. I didn't really like it, so I'm kind of glad to see that get stepped on a little bit. It needed to. But they will run a battalion. They might run a warlord trait. They might run 2 relics. Tau are fine. And they have CP manipulation, really good CP manipulation in game, so they'll be really fine. Custodies. Custodies, despite getting absolutely kicked in the dick by the recent balanced data slate, Custodies are still nightmare fuel. I played against a good Custodies list at this past weekend at the Branson Brawl, and I lost turn 1. I did manage to stretch it for 5 turns because a couple of my characters are traditionally quite tough. But Custodies, there you are. Gray has the list. Custodies are still number 3. Is that list available somewhere? Which list is that? I'm sorry, Good Herald. Mine or the Bam Bam list?
Or are we talking the thing that's on the screen? I don't know.
Oh, this one? Yeah. The list currently up. Adam, throw that in the chat since you put
I'm going to throw it in the chat.
Yeah, throw that in the chat. Yeah, we'll get it to you, Good Herald.
There you go. It's from Goonhammer. I think they're a trusted 40k source.
Goonhammer is relatively trustworthy. They're on GW's knob, but their data's solid. So yeah. So as you can see, Custodies, we said Tau, Custodies always take their named character warlord, Trajan Valoris. That is an auto include in a Custodies list. Trajan Valoris gives you +2 CP or +3 CP. It's 2 or 3, I can't remember, to start the game. Custodies are still fine to run double patrols and they take 0 penalty.
Nope.
They will be perfectly fine to continue to buff up their whatever characters they'll want to bring, or to bring their Forge World Dreadnoughts that they need. They're fine. Nothing will change. Yanari, that's Aldari. Aldari's a bit lower as a total faction, but really that's a bit of a misnomer there. Aldari are up there in the meta monsters. Aldari actually genuinely despise their warlord traits. Almost all of their warlord traits are worthless.
Yeah.
Genuinely. Aldari don't care. They'll just pick one because they can. They don't care. Relics, not very many good ones. They will take one. They'll take the Soul Gems or the Phoenix Gem for their Farseers, and they'll be fine. Forge World stuff, not really. They really like what they get. That abject savage you said like
oh, that's fucking fantastic. Alice, don't. Alice, don't behave yourself. Bring Zalika back. You've removed all of their messages. What a bastard.
Long shots, chill. Anyways, yeah. Eldar do like to roll an Outrider and a Combat Patrol, so they'll be losing 3 CP to start. They don't care.
Zalika will come back. It's okay.
They'll still have 2 CP. Happy man, I support chaos. You get punished. Harlequins spend almost no CP pre-game, except for the fact that they'll be running multiple patrol detachments, and they don't even do that anymore. They run battalions now. They have a couple of decent relics and warlord traits. They might spend 3.
I mentally prepared myself for looking at this and like talking about this data slinger, and I'm already dying. Look, I mean, I'm still dying looking at it.
Tyrannids don't give a shit about their warlord traits either. Yeah. Tyrannids do like to abuse the multi-detachment system because they want to bring more hive tyrants. What we were discussing earlier with Zalika, as far as bringing multiple units and such. Yeah, Tyrannids are one of the biggest abusers of this, and they also tend to use quite a few stratagems for early alpha striking. Now, a lot of that's been corrected by errata, but nevertheless, yeah, Nids will take 1 relic maybe, and maybe 1 CP on a Forge World unit, and that they'll be fine. So they'll lose 2 CP for running twin patrol detachments. Nothing will change with Tyrannid list. In total chat, not a single one of these lists has been changed by this.
Yeah, and don't get the order of this wrong.
Except for the storm surge spam of Tau. The storm surge spam is the only thing that gets hurt by this. Meanwhile, so demons. Yeah, demons, all Space Marines of all types. Is Nurgle still crap? Yeah,
I mean, Chaos Demons in general, yeah.
Chaos Demons, yeah, nobody runs pure Chaos. I've never seen pure Nurgle. I've never seen a pure Nurgle list, other than Long Shots. Long Shots likes to run pure Nurgle, but in competitive space, I've never seen a pure Nurgle.
It's not, it's not. It's too
but
slow.
Chaos Demon Soup, Chaos Demon Soup is, not very good. And again, this is I believe this is a T-Whip.
I mean, what it is it's looking at the real win percentage, but it's also doing some like maths to work out like if they were, equal equal players play against each other, what would happen? I think they're trying to work some of that stuff out. But the second number is important here. Don't get the order wrong here, Chad. The real win percentage is what we're looking at. So you'll see here, Chaos Demons are up at this high. Don't look at that. They've only played 410 matches and the win rate's only 41%. They should be like down here. So this looks
like
weird.
Dark Angels is towards the bottom, but Dark Angels is played by a lot of new players and good players. So yeah, Dark Angels would be higher. Depth of Sororitas is way higher. Depth of Sororitas near perfect. They're near 50%. Guard should be at the bottom. They're at 34% win rate.
Yeah.
Resident Evil.
Yeah. What?
Bell came in.
Oh, Bell came in. Oh, good. Good, Bells. Playing with Spy. Okay. Cool. Good stuff. Have a good game.
Oh my god.
But so yeah, chat. So yeah, looking at this, yeah. Games Workshop stated reason for this is they wanted to curtail alpha striking. They wanted to curtail matches being lost in the first turn and to allow stratagems to actually matter towards the end of matches. That's why you get more CP towards the end of the game. You'll be actually able to do interesting stuff towards the end of the game. But as we did illustrated to you, the armies that will need that CP, they ain't going to get it. And armies that don't give a shit will be just fine. Nothing's going to change here. Nothing's going to change.
The armies that don't give a shit are the armies at the top of this fucking list. Really annoying. So, overall, chat, like, I think 40k for the next 6 months, unless they have some rapid change of heart, it's going to be rough. I'm starting to come into the reality of, like, it is what it is a wee bit, and let's not, you know, whinge too much and lose the game and hobby that I love. For 6 months, just do what I find joy in. One of those is this. A stupid fucking card deck. Which we'll be doing which we've been doing a lot of on stream anyway, so that won't have any of this bollocks going in on it. Yep. We're playing today with sort of an idea of the new tournament rules. We don't know the matches that we'll get from that, but on this stream,
I think that's a good transition. Go ahead and move back over to Tabletop Simulator.
Yeah.